We're going live. We're going live. Boom. Boom. Yeah. We's going live. Hello, everybody. Hello. I need to check if you guys. Oh, yeah. How's it going, everybody? I have the starting soon page up. But I wanted to listen to some Keith Moon while everybody's filing in. I don't see anybody in the comments, so I'm gonna open it up here. Okay, I do see people in the comments. Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Have I said that before? Sorry for the audio. I'm not streaming directly through my stream. This is just through my mic. But they're isolated drum tracks, so it's mistake. It's amazing to hear some of this stuff and the mistakes they leave in. You can hear him yelling. It's just Keith Moon, everybody, is who I'm listening to right now. Some isolated drum tracks. Let's see, hear that again. Hold on, I want to hear that fill again. Maybe he'll do one right here. Wow. All right. I'm going to conclude that right there, and we'll jump into some more of that stuff. So, hi everybody. Michael Miley here. My live stream on Thursday nights. MileyOnDrumz .com, which I don't have. Just sounded pretty good. Maybe I should just get my URL happening, huh? I used to own it, so I don't know what happened to it. But anyway, it's really good to be back with you guys this Thursday, end of September. Gosh, did we figure out how many of these I've done? Did we figure that out last week? I didn't count. So seeing all you guys in the chat here. It's really nice to see everybody back. Let's see. Let's get some shout outs. Nola Creek, what's up? I got some Patreon folks in here. Robbie Martin, Kelby Groves, what's up? Miriam and Steph, my Patreon. How's it going? Carmela, Robbie Martin, Jeremy Walker, what's up? Okay. Sebastian Stabroth. And everybody's in here. Jillian, Wim Martins, how's it going? Patreon. Got some Patreons in here. If you haven't joined my Patreon, its links are down below. You can sign up to any tier there and help me out, help out my live stream. As always, I'm setting all these cameras up, before I start. I thought I would get one. Whoops. I thought I would get one from this angle so you could hear me playing. I don't hear my drums. Hold on a second. There we go. You guys hear the drums? So yeah, I wanted to give an angle right here so you could see that. And I want to talk Keith Moon tonight. So shout out to Alex Campbell, one of my Patreons, sent me a BBC documentary on Keith Moon that I had never seen, because the BBC, I guess, is national TV, I guess, or something. So we don't get to see that stuff in America unless you have YouTube, because YouTube pretty much has everything. So I watched probably a bootleg copy of it, and of course they focus on Keith Moon's life and his antics and his problems and his Moon the Loon behavior and all that stuff. And all of that is it's entertainment. We're paid to be entertainers. In this day and age, we think of our favorite performers and entertainers, and people have their influences these days, and every entertainer has, and every fan has their perception of their entertainers. Keith Moon just happened to be that behavior was reinforced in him all the way to his death. It's a tragic story. Everywhere he went, he was expected to be, this is all of his loved ones and bandmates and stuff in the posthumous interviews of after he was dead, he just always felt like he had to be on, and like on meaning on stage and being the center of attention, being the center of the jokes. And, I'm sure it was a lot of that self, obviously he did all that to himself, but it's a sad story, but gosh, it doesn't change the fact that his drumming, to this day is, extremely, I'm going to say influential on every drummer. I think every drummer who hears Keith Moon, even the people who are, even the Gospel Chops guys, I'm sure they hear it, and the spirit. Keith Moon had a spirit. He was plugged in. He was plugged into the conduit of drumming ethos. Like, if there was one drummer that the epitome, that embodied what stereotypical drummer, and I'm talking musically, I'm not talking behavior and antics. The way he approaches the drums. Let's just dive into this. I was listening to Young Man Blues. Okay, I'm gonna play Young Man Blues for you guys here. Okay, I heard this week. My one of my Patreons sent it to me. So if you type Keith Moon isolated drums, somebody has a playlist in here. Allison DeChans has a playlist here. Okay, why don't we do Amazing Journey? Okay, now he's pumping rhythm on the bass drum. He plays the eighth notes through a lot of his fills. A mind that usually goes. I'm on the amazing journey, and there all you should know. I mean, the classicness of this, man. Okay, let's I'm gonna go to Young Man Blues. Said young man. I think this is from Live at Leeds. I'm not sure when this recording is from. Isolated songs. I hope I don't get copyright strikes on this live stream. Forgive me, YouTube police. I figured with the isolated drum tracks, I might be able to get away with it. And I'm just trying to highlight the I'm just reading some of your comments here while we're listening. Nola Creek says, I have a Keith Moon biography sitting on my bookshelf that is unread. Dude, read it. Is it called Moon the Loon? I read it on tour. It's sad. Dude, his life is sad. So, and a courtesy fade there. Put it down a little bit here. So, yeah, man, Keith Moon I mean, dude, the ending was sad. I mean, the fact that he was constantly felt like he had to be the center of attention and goof off, and I mean, to the point where he'd be dancing on a table and hit his mouth on the edge of the table and break his teeth, you know, drunk in a hotel room somewhere, to be the center of the joke, to make everybody laugh. You know, I can relate. I'm born on the same day as Keith Moon, so if you believe in astrology and all that stuff, I have some kind of kinship where I can relate, you know. Now, granted, I didn't do a bunch of pills and drugs like that. But you know, that feeling of being a center of attention is, you know, it's addicting, you know. It, like anybody, if you're on and you're at a party and you're telling a joke and then everybody laughs, it's like you want to tell another joke. It's pretty natural. So imagine being in one of the biggest rock bands on planet Earth, you know, access to money and drugs and women and alcohol, and you know, I mean, he set a bomb off on the Smothers Brothers in his bass drum, and it apparently killed the feed, the live feed, the TV feed going to the TVs of America. I think it was America, right? Smothers Brothers. Forgive me if I don't know the answer to that. Patreons are coming. He's still going. So this is during guitar solo, you know. This is also a time when they say Pete Townsend became a lead guitar player at Live at Leeds. Okay, this is the end of the song. And Just listen to that roll, that last roll. Check it out. Gosh. Oh man. Let's see. Okay, it's gonna keep playing other stuff. Going mobile. Man, this is just amazing to be able to go the internet. If I had this when I was a kid, man, this is so all you young drummers, young musicians, there's no excuse not to be super badass, man, because we have access to so much stuff. I mean, just hearing these isolated drum tracks. One thing, I think I was talking about it last week or maybe the week before, or maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was talking about it with a student. Like, when you are in your formation as a musician, putting yourself in the shoes of your heroes, I think is wise. And I'm not saying the antics and the jokes and all that. I'm talking about the musicianship and the playing, listening to the records, seeing interviews, just hearing them talk about music if you can. Seeing videos of them doing the antics. You can see the personality behind it, you know. And checking in on this camera setup over here. You can see their antics, their energy, the way they approach life and music, you know. Somebody who's reserved, you know, if you're into jazz, you know, somebody like Max Roach walks into the room. He's very stoic and, you know, sits down on the drums and is calculated and articulate, you know, super articulate. So he's more of like a scientist, you know. Keith Moon walks in the room and hugging everybody and cracking a joke and making a wisecrack at somebody, you know. You know, there's that personality. But when you hear Keith Moon playing the drums, you know, stepping into those shoes, and it's like the Tasmanian devil from the Bugs Bunny cartoons. You know, sat on the drum kit and just started playing. That's the way Keith Moon sounds. I was listening on my Instagram live. Let me see if I can pull it up, because I was just listening to it. Which one was I listening to? Was it Keith Moon isolated drums? It was Who's Next, right? Oh no. Won't Get Fooled Again. He sounds like two drummers here. Let's just check this out for a second. Now it's so okay. So I'm sitting here. I want to learn. Say I'm going to be playing with the Who. Now I'm going to make a total fool of myself right now, but I don't care because that's what this is all about. Okay. Keith Moon is approaching this as if he's never heard the song before. But he knows the song. He sounds like so drummers. I'm trying to figure out a way to explain this. Drummers tend to, you know, pick up a song. You know, like let's say, like this song. Let's just break this down. I'm gonna break this down with you guys. So the beat. So Won't Get Fooled Again, right? Here's the new boss. Dum, ba-dum. Same as the old boss. So there's like that's me trying to imitate Keith Moon. I'm hearing the song. I'm hearing most of the time he doesn't relent. So a lot of drummers, I mean 99.9% of drummers will say, "Same as the old boss." Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. So that's kind of outlining the song, right? He's going dun, 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 bum, 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 bum. You know, it's his drums are melodically outlining the energy of the song, right? Of the voice. And Roger Daltrey, you know, don't forget, without Roger Daltrey, and his like his aggressive, manly, like Roger Daltrey was a boxer and he was a tough guy. And when he sings, he's not, I mean, he has a soft side, but like, and won't get fooled again. He's like, you know, he's talking at you. He's chastising you, or, you know, like he's not giving you a hug. Won't get fooled again. He's somebody with a chip on his shoulder. And so like and a lot of the Who's music is that adolescent angst, you know, of a, and of this time, it was that angst of the post-war, the British kids, you know, from London, their post-war angst. You know, you had the rockers and the mods, and they were a part of that whole scene. And so Keith Moon, man, he came out of the gates on every song like a bull, you know, unleashing a bull. Now, in the BBC documentary, let me get your comments back up here. In the BBC documentary, yo, Mike, you doing the moon thing? Yeah, I don't know if you've been listening, Alex. Everything I'm doing is because of Alex Campbell. He's a Patreon of mine. Sent me this thing. That's why people are watching you live stream. You got the groove of Bonham and the flare of Moon. Thank you, Alex. So yeah, let's see. What was I saying here? Oh yeah. So in this BBC documentary, Moon's drum instructor. Let me see. What was his name? Carlo something. Oh, where's my wiki page? Wiki. Keith Moon wiki. Carlo something. Wiki. Oh yeah, Carlo Little. So Carlo Little is I'm gonna just do a little demo here. Just trying to remember the documentary. I don't have the documentary here, but you can go on. Maybe I'll put the link down below. Or Alex Campbell. Maybe can you put the link in the chat? I'm not sure if everybody can click links in the chat, but so Carlo Little explains when Keith Moon came in as a kid, and this it kind of it's like the launching pad of, I think, his personality. He said he came in and was like, and Carlo Little was like, you do that, but just, you know, hit the drums, hit them like you mean it, or something like that. And I can imagine Keith Moon going, you know, like really digging in and finding, like plugging into that that life force, that that visceral core gut nature that everyone when everyone, I have I would bet money on this, that everyone who, if I say, think of drumming right now, think of yourself drumming, and you could be the best drummer, the greatest drummer, or whatever, like, how would you sound? And I feel like everybody's first, if you sat on a drum kit, it would be wanting to sound like Keith Moon. He has the spirit of drumming in him, and I don't think anybody else ever did that. Just carried that spirit. And that's why I love him so much. Okay, I'm checking in with you guys. Tony Fletcher. I forgot the book I had. I think it's out of print. It's called Moon the Loon. Really good book. But nowadays, I mean, yeah, you could read that book. There's so many documentaries out there and stuff on YouTube and the internet that you can really dive. Obviously, reading a book, you dive into somebody's life. All over the road, you hear some Keith Moon on me. I mean, there's a lot of Keith Moon all over the place. So I would say that, I mean, I'm not saying I do like that I play like Keith Moon, but I do like to play a lot of fills. So I feel like the spirit of music, I feel like Keith Moon does what everybody wants to hear a drummer do, if that makes sense. So, you know what I'm saying? Tell me if you guys know what I'm saying. Keith Moon, if you hear, like, the Who's music was perfect for Keith Moon as well, because you have like Pete Townsend going chicka-da, jump, jump, chicka-da, da 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 dum, right? So I think I'm singing "Won't Get Fooled Again." So Keith Moon had all that space, It's just a whirlwind of rhythm. Like he kept. Those are like perfect singles, right? Keith Moon did a lot of singles. So in that Young Man Blues, he's going. It's I was tempo mapping it the other day. It's about 160. I said, a young man ain't got nothing in the world. It's all that stuff he's doing. I mean, Keith Moon was not a slouch. I mean, he's not playing like, he's not doing the Billy Cobham single thing, like that Billy Cobham, Dennis Chambers, all those guys. Keith Moon's singles have a swing to them. And he phrased in like threes a lot too. So dooga-dooga-da, zooga-dooga-da, 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 zooga-dooga-da. There's a song on the first album. And it's like that the whole song. So Keith Moon is just known for this whirlwind of sound, and he also did so he kept the kick drum going a lot through those whirlwind sounds. So I mean, he would never do that. That was way too slick for him. But he did those rolls, the little 4-stroke rough. I mean, he probably did 6-stroke roughs. Like sometimes it sounds like he's throwing in as many notes as he can in that moment. Like he's a spaz. He's spazzing out. Like when you give your 5-year-old ice cream and he's in the back seat poking his little sister, you know? um, sometimes my kids at night, they all of a sudden, like 8 o'clock, they'll go into this like spaz mode, and they might have some ice cream after dinner or something, but it's like, where did you get this energy? It's almost 9 o'clock, and you're like, so that's the energy of Keith Moon behind the drums. It's like a 5-year-old with way too much ice cream, at like 9 o'clock in the evening. Like it's your bedtime. You're supposed to be like on the mellow side, and you're actually ramping it up, and put that energy on the drums in front of 20,000, 30,000 people. And that's what you get with Keith Moon. Yeah, somebody says Zunga, Zuga, Zuga, Duga, Duga, Zuga, Zuga, da. If you asked a 5-year-old what drum sounds like, they would basically describe Keith Moon's energy. I mean, yeah, it's perfect. So Matt Henton says that the end of All Over the Road is I sound like Keith Moon. I'm trying to remember. Goes it reminds me of the let's do the time warp again. Bum 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 bum. Let me see. I forgot what that sounds like. Let's rabbit hole some Rival Sons here. Because I don't remember what I did. All Over the Road on iTunes. And you know what's funny? On iTunes, you type in All Over the Road, and oh, there it is. Okay. It's like bottom of the list of things that come up, and it's like on one of our biggest albums. Thank you, iTunes. Whoops. I hope I don't get a copyright strike on my own song that I have songwriting credit on. Okay, I'm listening to All Over the Road. YouTube police, I'm listening to All Over the Road, my song. There's some Keith Moon, yeah. Somebody's guitar is mixed really loud on that. Ooh, Young Love. Okay, hold on. Let me stop this. Wow, yeah, we could go. So we could do some deep dives on the Rival Sons music. I'm not sure if I'll get copyright strikes on playing my own stuff on here. But hey, Matt, let's do a little deep dive on that. So it's there's a little fill, a Keith Moon fill I do in there. I guess it would be. I mean, it has the life force of Keith Moon. I mean, if you think about it, it's just sextuplets. But Keith Moon did do that. And it's so the idea is, I feel like a lot of drummers can go, doing rolls around the kit. Keith Moon seemed to have a way of keeping cymbals going through all of his stuff. And so, Neil Peart does it too. Like in like his solo in Tom Sawyer, he's hitting cymbals in the middle of his solo. Not all I'm trying to think of it. blah 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 blah. Deco down. Blah 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 blah. I mean, he's outlining lining the song in his head, but I don't think necessarily the band's hitting those hits with them. And it's a way of keeping the cymbals going. Some drummers will play backbeats in their fills a lot. You know, a lot of the gospel chops guys will do that, and it's a really fine art to be able to do that. Hold on, I feel like wondering if I'm getting notifications here. I hope my notifications didn't come up. Yeah. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So a lot of those fills too. I mean, I'm kind of doing a Keith Moon ism, but that's not really a Keith Moon lick. Going. I don't know. Is that like a Bill Ward thing? I'm not really sure who I'm mimicking there. I was just trying to keep a flurry of rhythm, but that would be the Keith Moon ethos, right? So it's right. So I'm hitting cymbals like kind of in random places, and to keep the swish, the swirl of the cymbals. Keith Moon did that just brilliantly, and I would say half the time sloppily. Like Keith Moon, when you listen to these, gosh, I was just listening to the Won't Get Fooled Again, and it's pretty amazing how sloppy it is. Did we start on that? Let's just listen to a little bit of this. You guys ready? Okay. Why aren't you playing? Ain't got nothing in the world today. My Bluetooth headphones picked them up. I mean, it sounds like he messed up that whole section. I feel like nowadays, if a producer's going to hear that and go, "Hello, mate. Did you learn the song yet? Did you learn the song? Maybe we should take that again. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe you should learn the song and come back." That's what it sounds like to me. And I'm not making fun of him or saying that he sucks. His whole approach sounds like a guy just learning the song, which keeps that youthful spirit in it. And so we'll listen to that section again. Right there, he rushes right there. Check it out. It's almost as if he's playing to a click and he got off, and then he's trying to make up for it going back into that next section. I'm not mind reading Keith Moon or anything. It's just there's that waver, but when you listen to it, like I never noticed that Phil rushed ever. So when you listen to the whole band playing on the album, you're not going to hear those kinds of things. And so listening to isolated tracks can be deceiving. It also goes to show drummers and other band people out there, producers and whatever. Sometimes you might have a sloppy take, or like for me, I should be talking to my own self. You have you have a sloppy take, and everyone, this has happened to me, where Dave Cobb and Jay and Scott and everybody's saying like, "Oh, that was a great drum take, Miley," and I'm like, "Listen to that. It's terrible. It's horrible. I totally rushed right here." And they're like, "Yeah, that's the best part. It has like crazy energy to it." And so so yeah, it's don't get fooled again when you hear people rushing and dragging. So he's hitting two snares in a row there, and Pete Townsend is just hitting one. So Keith Moon is doing his own accent that no one's hitting. So he's creating like another statement, so it's like whoops, dropping the sticks. So like it's like bum, ba, ba, bum, 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 ba, ba. So like Pete Townsend hits that hit, bum, but Keith Moon hits another one right after it, bum, ba, bum, ba. And as if the band was going dun dun, or in Keith Moon's head, maybe he thought everybody was going to go dun dun. So Keith Moon is rewriting a song in his head and playing a different song. And then like doesn't hit a crash at the end of that. It's just so unorthodox. You listen to this whole take, and it's so unorthodox. Oh my gosh. I always loved that fill right there, and I never knew what he did. Hold on. Let's check it out. So he chose to go he's hitting toms right. So, really simple there. I always thought he did a crazy like a flam thing, but it is a flam thing, but he's flamming two kick drums together. We should mention that. He's not going dugga dugga da. It sounds like he's going. If you can hear, I'm hitting two kicks with my double kick. But it sounds, I was saying earlier in my live stream on Instagram, it sounds like it's two drum tracks most of the time. And we'll hear that later on in the song. Let's check it out. Entwistle's playing this really beautiful bass line, and Keith Moon's just like, blah. Okay, right there. That section right there. Let's see if we could do this. Won't get fooled again. I hope I don't get copyright strikes. This will be my copyright strike test. Where is it? Dude, I hit it like... Okay. Okay. Where are we in the track? Okay, yeah, this is it. Right here. There's all these hits right here. So this whole section right here, you would think that I feel like my instinct would be like, and I'll get on my knees and pray. We won't get fooled again. You know, I would leave a break. I'd leave it open. Keith Moon plays through that whole section. Hopefully you guys can hear this. I don't want to get a copyright strike, so I'm picked up my guitar and play. Get on my knees and pray. So let's go back to the isolated track. This is fun. I hope you guys are having fun. Whoops. So okay, wait. Okay, now I'm lost. See where it is on the recording. Thought I was going to be able to cue this up perfectly. And I get on my knees and pray. We don't get fooled again. Okay. New Constitution, laid up down the new revolution. Found it's all around me. Picked up my guitar. Get like yesterday. I'll get on my knees and pray. Won't get fooled again. Okay, yeah. Let's listen to that again. Now that we know where we are. I take my hat for the new revolution. Keep my down for the new constitution. What the hell was he doing there? It's almost like everybody in the studio was like saying, hit those stops. And because he's like still playing. He just rumbles through that whole section. Oh my God, I love Keith Moon. And the crazy thing is from the stories I've heard, is Glyn Johns produced this album, and had a hell of a time reining in Keith Moon. You can hear, where's that? Where is the playlist? Isolated drums. Is this it? Yeah. Let's see. Doing another song off that album. Oops. Oh yeah, Amazing Journey. You can hear him in this track, Amazing Journey. I mean, this is one of the greatest. I've said this before. This is one of the greatest rock drum entrances of all time. So his entrance on Amazing Journey is and he's got his kick drum going through that whole section, you know. And it isn't until it's def dum and dama let's just listen to it. Check it out. It isn't until the vocal comes in and he starts outlining an actual groove, if you can call it that. Bum. Jesus. All right, let's see what tempo this is. Let's see how fast the singles are. Okay. Let's see where it is. I mean, that is like, I mean, he right there, he's accenting, he's what is he doing in there? Hold on. Okay, so he's playing hi-hat, first of all. So this is on Tommy. So he must have been bringing his hi-hat back. So he's going... So he's basically just pumping kicks, and then he's accenting the kick. So, boom, boom, boom. So, you know, which is hard. It's hard to do just soloing your leg out right there. But when you're in the spirit of the music, boom, and another thing, I'm just trying to keep sort of my limbs going, because it seems like he's got this constant energy. It's like when you put let's say when you're making electricity, and there's that thing spinning in the core of all the wires and the metal. I'm not a electric engineer, but it just sounds like spinning energy, right? I switched to Amazing Journey, by the way. In case. Where minds can usually go. Hold on. Journey. Don't usually go. Don't you should go. He's flamming. That's another thing about his. His kick drum and his hi-hat do not hit together at the same time all the time. There's a flam going on. Now, okay, so let's do. So what I'm doing here in this live stream. Sorry, I'm in Keith Moonland, everybody. So I hope this is okay with you. Let me just check in on some comments here. My mom's in the house. Okay, so the spirit of Keith Moon. I hope you guys are getting it. Like, I'm trying to break down some of these things that he's doing, and some people would say don't ever mimic Keith Moon, because I'd say 99% of music is not gonna. You're not gonna want to sound like the Who. I mean, I would want to sound like the Who, but I mean, you listen to all the music. I mean, if you're playing with Taylor Swift, did I say Taylor Swift? If you're playing with Taylor Swift, you're gonna be like going, right? You're gonna be playing something on the grid. It's probably going to go through Beat Detective, whatever drummers are playing on, even the best drummers in the world, they'll put it on a grid. I mean, most music is like that. I'm not knocking, Taylor Swift. I'm just saying it's not like the Who. Keith Moon and the Who, they just went in and it's like they learned these songs on the bus and then went into the studio and then recorded them real quick. Now, just to let you guys in behind the curtain with Rival Sons, I think to mind read Dave Cobb, our producer. Dave Cobb, our early albums were made in this fashion to where we wrote a song a day and wrote and recorded a song a day. That was our goal. We didn't always achieve that, and a lot of songs died. A lot of songs ended up on the side of the road, like roadkill. And so, so we'd go in and we're making the riff and coming up with the beat, like right there on the spot. I've talked a little bit about this on previous live streams, right? So, I'm going to check in some comments. Yeah. It's, somebody's Nathan Salinas he's saying he's trying to decode his drumming before. Yeah, it's to decode his drumming like that. This is why I'm trying to take it from all these angles here and listen to like the flams and how he's keeping a constant roll through a section that you would never expect a constant roll to go through. He hits a lot of crashes on backbeats as well. So he's gonna go bum 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 boom 5 3 4 1 2. Let me go to my GoPro. So he's gonna go 1 backbeat, 2 1 2 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. And it's and he's never doing the same thing twice, so you can't really guess. You can't really sink your teeth into anything he's doing because he's never doing the same thing twice. He has the same ethos. A lot of his fills are 16th note oriented or sextuplet oriented. That fill an amazing journey. You guys want to try to decode this? That's a great word, by the way, decode. Let's try to decode this fill. That fill right there. Okay, so that's sextuplets at about 133. I've guesstimated this to be around 130, 133. So to play sextuplets right there, that's pretty fast. But he's throwing toms in there too. So let's see. Okay, let's do it again. So this is... So what I think he's doing is just bringing his... I'm going to put it on, watch this. I'm going to go 0.75 speed. This is a good trick to learning fills, okay? 0.75 speed on playback speed on YouTube. Ready? Where is it? Sounds like he's bringing his left hand up to the tom at some point. Something like that, but that sounds too thought out. Whatever he's doing is just a flurry, but the ethos of it is 3, 4. Let me turn this up. So as you can see, it's something like that. But in the midst of all that flurry, it like you're not thinking he's never playing that fill again the whole rest of the song. So it's just this one-time gift. And he's got these gifts all over the place. So bop, boom, boom, bop, boom, boom, bop, boom, boom, let's see. So that's pretty fast. So chops wise, Keith Moon was not a slouch, right? He's pretty badass. Like, that's a flurry. I mean, I'd be scared if I had to do something like that in the studio. But that just sounds like... And these are like... let me see if I have another kit sound. Yeah, so I mean, when you have ring and you're in the studio, those things also sound different. So when you're playing sextuplets between two drums, I think it's something like that. So it's almost like sleight of hand, you know? What he's doing is he's tricking you into thinking it's more than it is. I'm not saying that's not that it's limited or something. It's he has this way of making himself sound like two drummers. I don't get it. Like jumping in and diving into the ethos of Keith Moon is it's mind blowing, and I'm doing it in real time, sharing this with you guys. I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole, and I was thinking this earlier this week that I would save it for my live stream. So where are you guys? Let me check in with you. Let me check in. I'm gonna take the mic off so I can read some comments. Imagine having the groove of Bonham with the excitement of Keith Moon. Meet Mike Miley. Oh man, thank you, Alex. Can you give a link to this Moon video? Yeah. I would the BBC Moon video. I think that is Piotr Suchiki is saying. He wants that link. Alex, can you give that link? I think I can get the link and put it down below later. So I will put the link of the BBC documentary. I think it's a bootleg, so watch with care. This might even get pulled down, so you guys that are in here are probably going to be the only people to see this, because I think I'm going to get copyright strikes. I'm not sure how all that works. This is awesome. I just wish I didn't have to multitask, but that's what the replay is for. I don't understand what you're saying, Creek. Nola Creek. Da da do do da. You can almost hear some elements of Moon and Stuart Copeland. Wow, yeah. Yeah, I would agree. James Iramescu says Stuart Copeland has that same visceral energy. I 100% agree. I 100% agree with that. And I think that's another reason why so many people love Stuart Copeland, is because he's got that childish, visceral, the spirit of drumming ethos, like the quintessential core, the magma, the magma of the drumming ethos, the dead center core of the earth ethos of drumming. The spirit of it is that, right? The funny thing is that Keith Moon was probably just playing from the gut, no rhyme or reason. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he was just going for it, and that's his ethos. I think I was saying at the beginning of this live stream is that he was always the center of attention. He walked in the room and was cracking jokes. That was his life ethos came out on the drums like that. And yeah, he's super hard to dissect, but like once you do it, like we're seeing, it's sextuplets and 16th notes. It's all, he hardly did any doubles or paradiddle oriented stuff. So for the most part, everything you see him doing is going to be, singles. So if you're trying to figure out what he's doing, and a lot of flams, and he feathered the bass drum too. So there's this concept in big band drumming, called, see if did my screen freeze? No. There's a concept in big band drumming where, it sucks on electronic drums. I apologize, you guys, but I mean so I can play really quiet on the kick drum. Right, so I can play big, loud, fat, heavy grooves with a kick, but I can also go. So that's Keith Moon. That's his Tasmanian Devil thing. So I do that a lot too, where I bring my left hand up in the middle of single strokes. Right? It has that trying to sound like two drummers vibe, right? So you throw some cymbals in the middle of there randomly. And with this kick drum going through the whole way, right? That's just a fill I'm making up on the spot. It's not necessarily something Keith Moon did, but it sounds like something Keith Moon would have done. So, so my ride cymbal is going 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1. So the and of 3. And when you have drums tuned high that are expressive, you don't have pinstripe heads with moon gels on them or tea towels on them or a bunch of duct tape on them, that's a sound. That is a sound for certain kinds of music. Sometimes you want dead drums, But for this ethos of The Who, the spirit of The Who, Zeppelin had this. Mitch Mitchell from Jimi Hendrix, even the early Ringo Starr, Charlie Watts, that whole British invasion, Ginger Baker. And a lot of them, they didn't have bottom heads, so their heads are so cranked that... That's another a good one. So you're pumping the bass drum. So I'm just playing 16ths between the rack and the floor. And I'm playing the snare whenever I want, but now I'm just accenting a phrase of 3, but my hands are still going right, left, 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 right. So, ba ba boom, 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 right? So. You could throw the cymbal in there too, so. And that's how you get that flurry thing. I do that shit all the time, Rival Sons. If we're in a part of a song that requires that, I'm trying to think of what's the song? I mean, yeah, I'm kind of doing it at the end of All Over the Road. But on Head Down, Head Down, Head Down by Rival Sons. It's not even the top result. Head Down, Soundgarden. That's not even an album. Head Down. Not even in the top albums. Radiohead, the bands. When I search Head Down. Radiohead, OK Computer. So I'm in iTunes right now. And when I type in Head Down, we're fourth from the bottom. And our album is actually called Head Down. And all these other albums up here, there's a lot of Radiohead, Flaming Lips. None of these albums are called Head Down. It's weird. Are we being shadow banned? Okay, End of Wild Animal. Let me see. What do we got going here? I think there's some spots in there where I'm doing that. So, so there's some Keith Moon shit happening there. End of Wild Animal. What's the other one? Three Fingers. Check this one out. This has the spirit of... This reminds me of I was channeling the spirit of the early Who albums. Three Fingers off Head Down. If you guys haven't heard Head Down, it's one of my favorites. Oh, I'm channeling Keith Moon all over this. Now I'm playing on the bell. So right there, is everybody still with me? Have I lost you guys? That feel, that energy right there, that is the sound of the 60s drummers to me. So whether it's Kenny Jones with the small faces, you know, I mean, Ginger Baker didn't really do that kind of playing. Mitch Mitchell did that. That's the first time you heard that's the sound of the 60s to me. That groove, we've heard that. You know, you've heard that groove before in other songs. That spirit, the spirit of that groove came from Kenny Jones and Keith Moon a lot in those early 60 tracks, and Mitch Mitchell. Right. Keith Moon did a lot of paradiddles. I don't know if any of you have ever noticed that, but he does a lot of paradiddles. In the solo of bum 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 bum. What is that Hendrix song? If 6 was 9, yeah. My brain is hurting too. We're only playing singles. So that's what I was saying with that spirit of that drumming, with the drums tuned high. They're really ringing out. You don't have to have all those gospel chops to play that kind of music. So Rival Sons is channeling that old feeling. Dave Cobb, when he records us, he's trying to channel that stream of consciousness kind of playing that the 60s drummers, the 60s musicians seem to have. Brought to you by Tractor Soda. Check in with my cameras. Am I doing all right here? How we doing? Yeah. Is this yeah, it's right. My buddy owns this beverage company. You'll be seeing him in a major restaurant very soon near you. Yeah, Brit pop. Yeah, it's but Brit pop wouldn't be Brit pop without the 60s British invasion. So these guys were that it's that pumping of the bass drum too. I mean, it wasn't always I mean, that's definitely it. But with Moon had a way of always keeping that bass drum going, even if he was feathering it. And he also would play when two bass drums are played together at the same time. I have a double pedal here. I don't know if you can see right here. So, trying to flam them a little bit. He sometimes was pumping both feet on those bass drums. So. That's my my best Keith Moon impersonation. So let's see. So my head is not quite in the picture here, huh? As high up as my thing goes. I wanted it to aim at the drums today. So anyway, yeah. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here in a little bit. Do you have any last minute questions? Let me see if I can. I'm out of breath imitating Keith Moon. I need some no-dos or something. Pop some no-dos, some caffeine pills, and then imitate Keith Moon. That's the way to do it, I guess. Alex Campbell's blowing me up with compliments. Thank you, dude. Sounds like two drummers because it takes two drummers to sound that exciting. I mean, that is it, man. It's stream of consciousness is challenging to get to, but when one arrives, it's a great payoff. Yeah. So, yeah. Hey, regarding Mikey and Miley Mondays, totally spaced. I've been working with Scott on some ideas. So I'm gonna wrap it up with some Rival Sons news. And just going back and forth, hearing some ideas, a couple ideas. I've heard a couple ideas. I'm not going to divulge any specifics, but a lot of the stuff being passed around, a lot of stuff is being passed around, mainly between Jay and Scott, exchanging ideas. I've heard a couple things, and they're really amazing. Scott has asked me to send him some grooves, and I've sent him some stuff. I'm about to close out here, and I'm going to jump into a song idea that Scott has. So Rival Sons are actively writing. So it's pretty exciting. I'm excited. I think by the end of the year, we will have been in the studio. I'm not sure when we're booking studio time, but it's supposed to happen at the end of the year. If America doesn't die of a civil war, we should be okay to record in Nashville. Stay safe if you're in America right now. Just stay safe. And one of my messages would be slowly stock up on some dried food, because if things get any crazier than they are, our supply chains and food supply chains might be cut off. Imagine if some protesters stop a freeway or blew up a bridge or something. Like, truckers of America are not going to be excited to just be driving around delivering food. Okay, so that's just my little prepper. I follow a few prepper channels, and I think it's important to be prepper minded, even if it's not a civil war or whatever. If the power grid goes out, or if there's a major earthquake. I'm from California, so in California we have that kind of mindset of being prepared for the power going out. We have power outages all the time. So yeah, I would stock up on some dried food, some canned food, make sure you have enough water. Having said all that, dive into some music, man, and practice your instrument. This is the time that if you don't come out of this quarantine downtime a better person, I feel like there's a gift being handed to us, as hellish and lame and freaking stupid as it is. It is what it is. And here we are. Like, a lot of us aren't able to go into work. some of us, our kids are still at home, not being able to go to school. Um, but still, man, take this time and try to do one thing and focus on making yourself a better person, becoming a better version of yourself. I'm always trying to talk about that. I talked to a bunch of high school kids yesterday. I was asked to speak and kind of shares my wisdom and insight or whatever. I don't know. These teachers wanted me to talk to their kids about music and music career and what it's like to be in a band and how I got there and all that stuff. So I love doing that kind of stuff. If you want me to come in and talk to your kids, man, I do this stuff like that all the time. Um, and so I wish I could do it more when I'm on tour. And so I would love to be able to give more of myself. There's only just so much of me that I can give. So anyway, yeah, I was just talking to these kids about being the best version of themselves, whether you're trying to play baseball or you're trying to be a coder or you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to start your own business, you want to do makeup for movies, be the best makeup person, be like, learn horror. Like, even if you never work on a horror film, like learn how they do the horror film makeup, learn makeup how they would do in a boxing movie. Like, how did the Rocky movie put all those like black eyes on them and stuff like that. And you might just be a makeup model for Nordstrom or something, like, but be the best, be the best one, always be like, there's such a slacker mentality. And I think there was a time in recent history, where people are giving kids participation trophies. I'm not a fan of that. I think the world is brutal. The world is brutal. Before, recent human history, it's like what Darwinism, survival of the fittest. This idea, the strongest and the fittest survive. There's a reason why we evolved over thousands of years, and the only the strongest and fittest survived, according to Darwin's theory. So yeah, I'm getting all philosophical here at the end, but it's like, breaking down Keith Moon licks is I feel only going to make me better to go that deep, to get into that headspace. When I need to channel that, and I talk a lot about this with my students, is when I'm recording with Rival Sons, I'm like, what would Jeff Beccaro do? If Jeff Beccaro was playing John Bonham's drums, or if John Bonham jumped on Keith Moon's drum set, what would he play? If Keith Moon jumped on John Bonham's kit, what would he play? If Stuart Copeland jumped on Bonham's kit, what would he, how would he approach this song? Ooh, this song sounds like a Van Morrison song. Wow. Okay, so what would a more jazzy pop drummer do, on Ginger Baker's drums, and he had to pump both feet on the bass drum, so you have to channel these players. Or man, if you're into like more pop or jam band stuff or something, and maybe like check out Carter Beauford with Dave Matthews, and then get into some Chick Corea with Dave Weckl, and like get your mindset into some other genres of music, and be multiple modalities going on. You can channel all this other stuff into your arts and crafts and your sports. I was saying to the kids yesterday that you'll see baseball players play golf. Have you ever seen Mike Trout play golf? He hits the driver. He hits the golf ball like 400 yards, These some of these sports guys they play multiple sports. They're good at multiple sports. Herschel Walker, Bo Jackson, Michael Jordan played 2 sports. Deion Sanders, some of these guys, and I think it trickles into your other stuff that you're doing. So I have a lot of hand gestures and you can't see them. So, one thing, it's good that I have just my face, because when I watch people on YouTube and on the news, like, I'm not into people that do a lot of hand gestures. So it's good that it's just my face. and you can't see my hands down here. See, you can't even see what I'm doing with my hands. Oh, wait, you can see it in the, okay, that other camera's not in there. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. It's been 90 minutes, and I'm going to read a couple more comments and say goodnight. And people are saying goodnight. I'm a nurse, and my kids are at home trying to do school on their own. It's crazy times. Yep. I'm totally going to be on a moon kick now. Yeah. Hey, jump in, man. I do this all the time. I'll go in a rabbit hole and I'll get into one band, one drummer for like a period of time. And I think it's the best. I call it cud chewing. So when a cow is out pasturing, a cow has 4 stomachs, and so they're trying to put as much grass in their belly as possible. So when they're grazing, they go out and they put all that grass in there. So cud chewing, man, I'm taking in as much information as I can, and then over time it starts to settle into your subconscious and your unconscious, and now you have it locked in forever. And that's what part of playing an instrument is practicing, physically practicing, and then studying is you learning how to use your ear and listening to music and getting in, doing what we did tonight, like diving in and being a nerd and just going, what is he doing? Why is he pump the bass drum like that the whole time? He's pumping the bass drum. Like what drummer would do that? If you did that with a band, and you're playing Pearl Jam songs, everybody's going to look at you like, what are you doing? Okay. So don't do it in a Pearl Jam song. But if you're playing in a band that has that sort of maximum R&B, I mean, that's really what the Who was doing, is like the heaviest rock and roll like imaginable at that time, and I think Keith Moon is number one in channeling that, the spirit, the magma of drumming, the core, the earth's core, the iron center, that spinning ball in the dead center of a electrical generator, the very thing that drives electricity out to all the power grid, right? The core. Electrical engineers, help me out here in the comments. The transistor, is it the transistor, the like center of an electrical power grid? That's Keith Moon's drumming energy. So I'm going to leave it right there. Thank you, everybody. You can go to my Patreon and become a subscriber there, and pick a tier. Helps me out in these tough times. And also, if I answered any of your questions, I have a PayPal and a Venmo link down below if you want to tip me or anything. Also, just come back next Thursday. I'm not saying you have to tip me, but if you want to, you can. Seeing if there's any more comments here.